So now, while I'm solo playing D&D, been working with orcs quite a bit, so I decided to paint some from the kit that I got. So this one is the orc, and there we go, I do have the sheet. I got a sheet with the names of them, and the orc has the axe up there. There it is, orc, right there. So I know it's not going to show up very good. But in any case, I got the orcs, and I painted 3 of them black. So the reason why they're black, but actually I think black is the best color for it, as a primer right there. So I have the primer. It's pretty big, and each one of them I think takes like about 3 drops of it. So let's see how well this works out. So open that up. When you put it upside down and squeeze it, a little drop comes out of there pretty nicely. And I learned to close that slowly right there. Otherwise, it will splatter paint out. So that's one tip that I got. But otherwise, I don't really do a lot of painting. I painted some kobolds. I first painted them with this primer, and I haven't tried seeing if just regular acrylic paint will go over this plastic very well. That's all I'm using is cheap regular acrylic paint, not acrylic paint made for miniatures. But in any case, I think with the camera it's harder to see detail with the black right there, but in person it's actually not too hard. Let me try zooming in to see the detail. So I think that might be an effect of the camera. If I move the light, maybe that'll make a difference. But in any case, I think it's a little harder to see the detail there, but you can still see the detail fairly good with the black right there. Oh, we got kind of more focused. So that's another reason why I'm making these simple videos like this. Get a little more familiar with how the camera works. So yeah, looks like about that distance. I should hold them instead of closer to the camera. So maybe I'll put the camera further away. So in any case, yeah, I painted the 3 black. So the first one that I painted, I decided not to go around the bottom there. I put it, all 3 of them, into this holder right there, and gotta make sure it goes in good, or it might fly out. But yeah, put it in the holder, and then painted. I just painted it with a regular brush like that, and that came with the paint that I bought. And you know, put a little of the primer into that cup there, and so especially when you first drop it down, it's kind of wetter, and so I think it's good to start down there, and then like the big areas, get them really painted up. But otherwise, just keep brushing with the same amount of paint until it's not really covering much anymore, and then put more on there, and it filled in pretty nicely. Just kept moving the brush. Sometimes I might have to dab it a little bit, but just kept moving it over where it needed a paint, and it covered that well. There was no real technique. I had little brush strokes. I went out going that way, and I don't really see them on the axe now. So it looks like when it dries, it does shrink a bit, because a lot of the detail was filled in, and then when it dried, it kind of sucked out. So it does shrink a fair amount. So if you can't see all the detail, it'll probably shrink down at least this primer right there. So again, this is primer made for miniatures. You can see that it's on there, and you know, I'm going to use this quite a bit on them, so I think that's a good deal. I'm probably going to buy some other color primers, probably at least green for creatures that are almost all green. So these orcs have clothing on, so I think black is just as good to paint it is all green. So again, I didn't do the bottom down there. As I said before, I put it into the holder, all 3 of these, and while it was in the holder, I put paint down here on these ones as well. And then while they were still wet, I didn't wait for them to dry. I was processing another YouTube video, and that was going to take 40 minutes. So I decided now would be the time, that wasn't in there all the way, now would be the time, while I was processing that video, to do some painting, since I was looking for something else to do anyways. So yeah, I painted it all up, and then I think it's off to the side though, but when I was done, I waited a little bit for this to dry. I covered that and then did painting up there. And then when I was done up there, just grab it, slide this a little bit, and it's a little harder while I'm filming too. And then set it down on just on paper to dry right there. And yeah, it doesn't really look like I think I can see a little bit of my fingerprint where I did grab it, but it doesn't show up like terribly well. I kind of know to look for it and stuff. So any case, that's about it. I just do a bit of solo D&D playing. I read the book quite a bit at work. I work overnight, so I'm going to be working a lot over the next couple weeks, and so definitely not going to be making many videos, if any at all. And I also bought markers, acrylic markers, so I may bring those to work, and then I can do like little spots with the acrylic marker. Looks like it holds up pretty good on the primer at least. So I haven't tried doing any on just the plastic right there, but from what I read, acrylic paint won't stick to plastic or glass, but it will stick to primer that is put on plastic or glass. So in any case, that's about it. As I said before, it was going to be about 40 minutes to process my video, and I started at least 5 minutes after it started, and then when I was done, I think, and washed the brushes and stuff, but I think it took me about 5 minutes approximately for each one of these, and so probably about 15 minutes total. So not too long to just totally cover them with primer.